Oh, I just want to get another shot at the door that opens up for the outside air on the Sebring Convertible. And you can see here, this is how it works. I mean, it's difficult to see what the heck I'm talking about without having a video of it. But that's what it's always jamming up on these cars. It's you try to control this knob, and I put like white grease on it, so now it works fine. And you can probably see it up in here. There's the door itself. It's behind the glove box. Okay. So now it works. It's like white grease, and I don't use that WD-40 too much. Another thing, we have, these are grounds, okay? There's grounds over here, like for this bracket that has to come off to take the heater core off. And you can see there's the cover, okay? I'm shining a floodlight on it so you can see underneath here very well. Another thing, you have the blend for the heat, which is the blend door, which is like the control next to the outside vent. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a cable, and this cable is right here, okay? And you can see there's a clip on there, okay? I used a little bit of super weather strip adhesive to hold that clip in there better, because I think if this cable moves, you could be turning this knob and thinking you're getting full heat, and you're not. And that's another reason sometimes these cars won't get full heat. Not that that's a problem, but that's something to check for when you're taking this apart. So you notice that clip, but I put some super weather strip adhesive on there to hold it in better, so that cable's always it's not going to move after it's set properly. One more thing on the wiring, down in here, if I remember where it was, there's, yeah, it's right here, this little wire right here, that is for the auto stick. And I got one of these coming in here from Glenn at Convertibles Forever, and so my harness is okay. There's no problem with that. Again, also, there's another ground, and there's the ground right here, okay? So that gets connected when you put the lower dash panel in. There's only 5 screws on that, and when you put that lower dash panel in, make sure that ground is there. The reason I'm showing this ground, and there's 2 other grounds. Sometimes, you know, it's unrelated to heat, but I'm talking about is when you have these no bus issues, like it shows an error code no bus. These are grounds to watch for, okay? That's where they're at. So if you take the glove box out, you can get at these 2 grounds no problem, okay? And then you got the one on the other side. Again, the dash panel's very easy. I mean, it unclips. There's 5 clips on that wood trim that goes around here, and there's 1 on the bottom, 2 on each side. That pops out. This only has like 4 screws on this side, okay? And then you got 1 on the opposite side of this whole dash panel that comes out. When you pull a little side panel off the side, that's where the fuse box is. There's a screw underneath there, and you take that screw off on the side, and then these screws, and this whole panel comes off. Now, I got traction control and this little computer thing, so there's a couple wire connectors back there. I'm just pointing this out simple, but you know, if you got these things, you make sure you disconnect those wires when you're pulling this thing out. Now I'm going to piece this together with another clip about underneath the hood, about the heater hoses and some of the, what do you call it, the modules and stuff for the sensors in the engine. Alright, hold on. Alright, this is the front console, okay? Just want to point out, it's very simple to take out. I mean, there's a little tray you have to pull out. There's only a couple screws that's above that, holds a cigarette lighter and a little lamp, a couple wires on that. This has, you know, a couple bolts. There's one up here you got to take out. That's like when you take the glove box out. I mean, I can get at it if I don't have to. I can actually get at it and pull it out of the way without taking the glove box out. But take the glove box out or drop it down, the way I instructed before. Take that screw out. and I think you got one here on this side, right here, okay? This right up here on the top, okay? And then here, on the center console, you only got 3 screws on the bottom. There they are, okay? 1, 2, 3. Then you got, that's when you open the console. And you got one here. I got some tape over it, okay? Let me, I mean, you can see it. There's one here. I got some tape over it, okay? And one here. So there's 5 screws holding this thing in. That's it. So when you lift, you have this piece that goes over here. It just unclips, okay? It's just like 4 little clips. You just pull it up, squeeze it in a little bit, and that pops off. And you have a knob that's on a shifter knob. There's an Allen wrench you put in there. On the front, you unscrew that, it pops off very easy. But I just want to show you that some people might find this more difficult and daunting than they think. So there's 5 screws that hold this whole thing in. And then on the bottom, close that so screws don't pop out. Here's your wiring harness, okay? That's it, okay? That's the whole thing for that. So there's not much to this. So there's nothing about pulling about all these switches and stuff. You just pull that one thing off. So I'll be going on to the next clip. Hold on a second. Okay, I got the intake manifold off of this. So I want to show this while this thing is off. First, this right here. That's the idle air control valve. Okay, and all right, that's this thing right here. Here you have the throttle position set, TPS throttle position sensor. Okay, that's right next to the air horn. Here we have the intake IAT. This is the intake air temperature sensor, and this is your MAP, the manifold absolute pressure sensor. Okay, just 2 screws. This just unscrews. You put some Teflon tape on it. Now, back here, this is the, you know, where the heater hoses go. This is something some people probably don't know, but there's direction for which way the heater hoses are supposed to go. On some of the old cars, you had a 3/4 and you had a 5/8. It was easy. When it comes off the water pump, it would have been the 3/4. That's on a large block V8 for an old car. This one, the top one, this top one, that goes to the first, the front inlet. Okay, that's coming off the water pump. The top one on the heater hose, on the heater core, that one goes to the first one, the front one over here. Okay. And then the second one, that's just towards the firewall, that's the bottom one. It does make a difference. Some people think it doesn't, but it does. And you can see right below that, just to point out, that's the connector for the crankshaft position sensor. And just a close-up shot of the distributor. Okay. One more thing. You probably, you know, there's a bracket in the back. You probably can't see it, but that's the pump. We have to take this intake manifold off to get at this power pump, this power steering bracket when you're taking they're doing a timing chain, because this cover in the front is a pain to get off. Actually, I cut this valve. I'm skipping around, okay? But this cover for the upper timing chain cover, which is timing belt cover for the rear towards the firewall, that's a pain to get off because of this power pump steering bracket. Okay. Actually, I cut an oval hole in mine so I could check the freaking timing anytime I want. But again, when you're putting these things in, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this heater core with antifreeze before I put these hoses on, and fill the hoses up the best I can so that there isn't a freaking air bubble in there. And that's another thing that you got to watch for. One other thing, a lot of times I put hoses on, like people say not to do this, but I never had any problem. I put a little grease on a hose because it comes off easy. They say it rots the rubber, but you know, 10 years later the stupid thing's fine, so I've never had any problem with it. That's what the old mechanics do from a million years ago, but it works. Anyway, another thing here, this is your computer for the trans, okay, the TCM, alright, transmission control module. And again, this is where all your fuses are and the relays. I should probably pop this off to show you what the hell is under there, but you got a manual, it's no big deal. Again, this is your EGR, okay? EGR valve, okay? And again, you probably couldn't see that other thing I had, but this that little freaking vacuum hose. Now they got this light here. When you're taking this manifold off, there's this thing right here, okay? That's that vacuum hose that goes on the bottom of this manifold right here on this little nipple, okay? And again, this is your computer, okay? There's just 2 bolts that come take this thing out. So just kind of going over some stuff with this thing in one hodgepodge mix so people can see what the hell is going on. They're kind of scared to work on these. I know one thing that freaked me out is the way the electronics work on this thing. It's very sensitive because it learns. And as it learns, if it's got a part that isn't exactly OEM, it learns wacky and it will drive you crazy. So, like I said before, you watch what parts you put in this thing because a lot of these aftermarket parts don't work at all. Okay? Oh, one more thing. This, now, I know there's people disagree with this, but let me put it this way. I do it this way. This stuff, you don't need any gasket cement, and it's not gasket cement or RTV. You wouldn't put that stuff on one of these metal gaskets. I like putting this on the intake. This is this 99GA from Permatex, and that works with fuel, okay? It's fuel resistant, and it works with metal gaskets. So it works fine. I just use it as an extra step. It's my personal preference. It's not wrong to do it, though. I just figured I'd point that out because I think it provides a better seal. Okay, bye.